Welcome one and all to the Cine Geeks podcast, where movies, TV, and all things geek collide. I'm Roy, still joined by my lovely co-host Angela.
Hello!
Hey Angela, and hello everyone listening to us. We've been gone a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ha?
Monthly na ba to?
Oo nga eh. Nagiging,
once a month na lang.
once a month na lang.
Hindi, life is just lifing still.
Oo nga eh.
Yeah.
Medyo, ano bang pwedeng show business sagot.
May pinagdadaanan.
Pinagdadaanan.
Pero hindi naman ganun ka-serious. Baka isipin ng mga listeners natin, may stuffs na nangyayari.
Hindi, adjustment period pa rin based dun sa kung ano yung mga nakwento natin the previous episodes.
Yeah. So, ito na nga. Hindi, joke lang.
Hindi, huwag na. Baka humaba pa to. Anyway, we're back. And we have 3 movies to talk about today. Bilang pambawi naman dun sa sobrang tagal na nawala tayo. And those 3, of course, are Superman, written and directed by James Gunn, starring David Corenswet. Fantastic Four: First Steps, directed by Matt Shakman, starring Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Ebon Moss-Bachrach, and
Joseph Quinn.
And finally, we'll talk about Sunshine, written and directed by Antoinette Hadaone.
Starring Maurice Racal.
That is correct. But before we continue, don't forget to like ba? Hindi, sa Spotify, di ba,
Follow.
Ba, nakalimutan na natin.
Oo nga eh, ano ba yan? Mag-practice ka nga ng spiel mo. Nakakahiya ka.
Wait, what? Okay, take 2, sige. Don't
Okay
forget
na yan, alam
to
na nila
follow
yan.
our podcast wherever you listen to podcasts like Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube.
Fairness.
Tapos, ano yan? 5
Please
stars.
also follow us on our social media pages.
Yan.
We are on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Threads and X, aka Twitter, Blue Sky, and Letterboxd.
Sinabi naman natin yan. Ano ba?
Ano pa naalala mo?
Ano pa naalala ko? Ano ba bang
Quiz to.
Ano bang social net?
We also have our Facebook group called Now Cine Geeks Hub.
Yes.
Formerly known as, meron na rin ganun.
Huwag natin pag-usapan.
Formerly known as Cine Geeks PHHQ, pero it's Cine Geeks Hub now.
Yep.
And we're releasing our written reviews on our website, www.cinegeekspod.com.
Yes. So, paano ba to? Kapag may episode tayo, may episode pa rin. Hopefully.
Hopefully. Okay.
Sana meron pa rin yung mga episodes na to, we're still going to try to get back to our regular and consistent schedule. Pero in case na hindi magawa ng episode, automatic na meron niyang written.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
It's the operative word.
Ay, nako. So, wag na nating patagalin pa. Let's go ahead and talk about... And by the way, ito, hindi ito pag-uusapan in terms of parang yung best to worst or worst to best katulad ng ginagawa natin dati. Talagang literal na we're just going to review this in order of when we saw it.
Okay.
So,
ang tagal na nun.
Okay lang yan. Wala tayo yung...
Naipon
Tayo yung nag-ipon tapos ang tagal nating hindi naglabas Anyway, so, unang movie for this episode, we're gonna be talking about Superman. From Warner Brothers. Of course, again, written and directed by James Gunn. So, maliban kay David Corenswet, of course, Superman, we have Rachel Brosnahan.
And Nicholas Hoult,
yes. Rounding out the holy trinity of Superman characters. So, we're gonna try to do something different kasi dati di ba kapag nag-review tayo parang, what did you think about it? Ako sa akin parang medyo nagiging monotonous siya pag gano'n. Sige, usapan ito na naman. Let's try to shake things up.
Yeah.
Bilang pang ilang Superman na to, na iteration in like 20 years, pangatlo na.
20 years is Since 2005.
So,
Hala, 20 years na yun?
Brandon Routh.
Shucks.
So, 1. Tapos may naging Henry Cavill sa gitna.
So, pangatlo pa lang.
Tapos pangatlong ano na to. Pangatlong try
Not
na.
counting yung mga nasa TV. Nasa CW.
Of course. I mean, CW thing is its own thing. Pero ikaw, what were your expectations going into Superman 2025? Base dun sa parang pre-existing na parang Superman or idea mo of what a Superman movie is?
Ako kasi very when it comes to Superman, doon ako sa classic eh.
Mm-hmm.
Hindi ako doon sa Smallville or doon sa from 20 years ago, Brandon Routh. Although I liked also Brandon Routh. Pero mas talagang ang kinalakihan kong Superman was Christopher Reeve.
Mm-hmm.
Yun talaga yung favorite ng mama ko tsaka ng dad ko. Yun yung pinapapanood sa akin ng bata ako talaga. Kaya memorable talaga sa akin yung moment na inikot niya yung Earth just to turn back time. Oo, napaka nun. Core memory yon. Talagang tumatak sa akin yun. Parang, oh my God, ganyan ba yung time travel?
Kaya palang gawin yung Superman yun.
Nire-rewind lang pala siya. Parang tape. Anyways, so Christopher Reeve is my quintessential Superman. And ang expectations ko going in, especially from the past few years, Snyderverse, medyo on the fence ako, to be honest. Kasi, as much as I love Henry Cavill as an actor, hindi yun yung image ko of Superman eh. Superman to me is very corny, cheesy, very nerdy, dorky, diba? And romantic ang Superman na nasa isip ko. And Henry Cavill was not really that. He's having a lot of parang personal issues na pinagdadaanan niya. And very dark and napaka devoid of joy, I would say.
True.
Parang wala siyang happiness sa katawan. Parang his entire existence is so heavy.
So, pagdating naman dito sa bagong Superman kay David Corenswet, using all of that, yung, ayoko sabihin emotional baggage, pero yung parang, yung experiences na dala-dala mo going into it, did the film meet, exceed, or fail your expectations?
It exceeded my expectations. Pero, in a way, medyo in-expect ko na rin siyang magiging maganda or magugustuhan ko. Kasi, I love James Gunn. I love his humor, yung writing niya. I mean, not just in Marvel, kahit yung before pa. So, alam ko na magagawan ng story ni James Gunn si Superman na mas malapit dun sa idea ko of Superman. And I was not disappointed. In fact, I'm looking forward to it, although meron din akong konting reservations dito sa Superman ni James Gunn. It's not a perfect film. Pero, ayun, na-exceed niya yung expectation ko talaga. Na-happy naman ako pagkapanood ko. Ikaw?
Ako naman, well, yung pinaka parang Superman para sa akin is yung kay Brandon Routh talaga. Kasi naalala ko nung dati na yung pupunta kami ng MOA nung family ko, nung bata pa ako. Tapos kakabukas pa lang nung IMAX theater doon. Yun yung unang-unang pinalabas na movie. Like, blockbuster movie. Doon sa, ano pa yan? San Miguel, Coca-Cola, IMAX theater.
Ay, may ano pala? May branding siya?
May branding tie-up siya.
Ooh.
Yan. Ngayon, syempre yung parang feels nung Christopher Reeve na Superman, tinry niyang, hindi nga lang i-emulate as in talagang tinry niyang
i-replicate na, no?
ituloy lang. Na parang, and basically, ang ending ng Superman Returns is just a continuation from Superman 2. So, in-ignore na nila yung 3 and 4. So, 1, 2, tapos Superman Returns bigla. And in that, in that capacity, talagang tumatak siya sa akin. Kasi, yung hopeful na tone, yung parang warm, fuzzy feeling siguro partially tainted by nostalgia na rin siya siguro.
Yes.
Kaya,
that's okay.
Going into this, parang many years, 20 years later to be exact, Marvel fan na ako. Hindi na ako yung DC fan. Kasi, pag lumalaki ka, ang unang superhero mo naman si Superman. Either si Superman or si Batman. Wala namang,
or si Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yun. Siya lang yung Marvel. Siya lang yung Marvel Disney. Technically, siya yung
or
Disney.
Or X-Men. Yan yung mga, nung lumalaki tayo mga
Spider-Man, Wolverine, yan. Silang dalawa. Pero yun talagang, parang in terms of hierarchy sa bata, Superman, 1A, 1B, Superman, Batman, tapos Spider-Man, tapos Wolverine.
Yan, tama.
Yan. So, naungusan ng Marvel dahil sa MCU in terms of yung cultural zeitgeist and whatnot. Kaya, tas dumagdag pa yung parang yung Zack Snyder na mga Superman na parang
DCEU.
Oh my God. Absolute dreg of movies. Talaga.
Okay.
Na best left to history. Talaga.
Yeah.
So, it was with trepidation nung in-announce na parang, okay, James Gunn, papasok at magiging siya yung Kevin Feige ng DC. Okay.
One of the Marvel people.
Oo, yun. Diba? Na, parang ang pinaka-success niya was Guardians of the Galaxy. Yung trilogy na yun, sobrang ganda na trilogy of movies. So, may cautious excitement. Pero para siyang, may pinanood tayo nung Welcome to Wrexham. Na documentary sa FX sa Disney Plus. Sabi din na doon na parang are they going to pull a Wrexham? Yung doon sa parang final episode niya. So parang dito, bago natin pinanood siya, parang siyang iniisip na parang, are they gonna pull a DC again? Na parang, are they gonna find a way to mess this up?
Oo, ano ba yung DC movie before this? Yung Flash pa?
Yung Flash, tsaka yung Black Adam, tsaka yung mga Shazam na parang...
sobrang mid to...
I mean, yung Shazam na 2 kasi yung Shazam na una, parang okay, fun. Tapos biglang nalaman natin, Magaboy pala si Zachary Levi and
Zack Snyder. Akala ko Zack Snyder.
Hindi naman. Alam ko hindi.
Pero di ba beshi sila ni James Gunn?
Si?
Zack Snyder.
Di ba yung sa Rick and Morty? Naglolokohan sila doon.
Hindi, totoo ba yun?
I mean, yeah.
Parang gag lang ng Rick and Morty yun.
Pero ano naman yung, ato sa akin hot take, yung tanging magandang sine ni Zack Snyder, si James Gunn na nagsulat. Yung Dawn of the Dead. Yun. So, yun lang. So, after that, bleh.
Di mo nagustuhan yung 300?
I mean, para siyang wala bang dinagdag, walang dinagdag, walang binawas, literal na parang comic, sine. It's a literal comic book movie. Maganda siya. Oo, it's iconic, yes. Pero parang as someone na parang looking back na may film na knowledge na, parang okay, it's mid to good.
It's not bringing anything new to the table. Yeah.
Yan. So going back to Superman, yun na nga, merong tayong tepid excitement na medyo tempered by, oh my God, this DC gonna mess this up. And I'm happy to say that they didn't mess it up.
Yeah.
In fact, they succeeded. They succeeded with flying colors. Flying colors in the sense na parang they set out they achieved what they set out to do. Meron pa rin mga parang head-scratching na parang choices, pero we'll try to get to them mamaya. Pero po, yun, ikaw, did it succeed for you? Or parang, medyo parang, did it pull a DC?
It did not pull a DC, definitely. Kasi, it almost feels like a Marvel movie, to be honest.
Actually.
So, I didn't feel any DC Snyderverse vibe watching it. Pero, that's not to say na sobrang perfect ng movie. Kasi, yun nga, meron akong issues. Medyo minor lang naman. Kasi nagustuhan ko pa rin siya, na-enjoy ko pa rin siya. Pero I wish it would have focused more on Superman and Lois and his personal journey. Kasi bagong Superman na naman to eh. We have to, really get to know him again.
True.
'Di ba? In a very fresh perspective.
Pero, hindi mo ba mako-consider? Ako, I get what you're saying. Parang medyo, you've wanted more, I guess, kung tama yung intindi ko, you wanted more Clark. You wanted more parang humanity in the story. Pero, hindi ba mas para siyang kaya sobrang ganda nito kasi na-blend niya yung Clark and Kal-El.
True.
Na parang mas naging more human si Superman here.
Yeah.
Unabashed nga. Hindi nga siya parang dati kasi yung kay Superman Returns. Kita mo yung delineation Kasi ganoon naman talaga yung Christopher Reeve
duality talaga Si Superman he's living double lives.
Yes. And doon naman sa Man of Steel na Superman, talagang hindi lang siya basta duality. Talagang sinusukan niya yung, alam mo yung side niya na sinusukan niya doon, yung humanity niya o yung pagiging Superman niya?
I honestly don't know. Kasi kahit Justice League, sinusukan niya din.
Diba? Kasi parang ayaw niyang maging human. Ayaw din naman niya maging Kal-El. So parang ano ba talaga? Pero dito sa Superman ni Colin Sweat, talagang ano siya napaka shamelessly human niya. In the sense na talagang he wants to be imperfect. He's okay with being imperfect.
Kahit na perfect being siya.
True.
Which actually parang makes more sense and more heart dun sa character niya. Yun talaga yung strength ni James Gunn He creates, he crafts talagang such human characters.
And compared to the previous Superman, how does Colin Sweat stack up para sa'yo?
I mean, it's too early to say. Kasi isa pa lang yung movie niya, isa pa lang beses natin siyang nakilala. And even here, hindi pa rin siya masyadong focused kasi sobrang daming side characters. Ang daming mga plot lines din na nangyayari at the same time as his journey. Pero so far I'm hopeful. No? And I wanna see more of that Superman.
Nakakatawa kasi, and we're just gonna be using yung previous Superman in film as, I guess, yung control natin or parang pang-compare. Si Brandon Routh kasi talagang ginaya lang niya si Christopher Reeve.
Parang parang impression.
Wala siyang dinagdag to the table. Ito namang si Henry Cavill was portraying someone entirely different. Someone who tried
Dark timeline Superman.
Oo, parang sobrang Superman na parang ayoko sabihin bizarro kasi parang insulto kay bizarro Superman yun.
Superman Black Parade.
My Chemical Superman. Sobrang emo, my God. Nasobrahan sa All American Rejects tsaka Dashboard.
Yari ka sa mga Snyder Boys. Kapag tayo pinutakti ng Snyder Boys dito,
Sige lang. Engagement yan. Go. Pero dito, natutuwa ako kasi talagang there is a personality that shines na hindi informed by any previous iteration.
True.
Talagang nag-craft si James Gunn at saka si David Cornswet ng isang portrayal na both honors the legacy of the character and makes him relevant for our times. None more so than yung embodiment niya ng message niya na yung kindness is the new punk rock.
I love that message. Yan. Tumatak sa akin yan.
Kasi nakakatuwa at nakakatawa na nakikita mo sa social media ngayon, sa TikTok, yung may term na namang na-invento yung mga bata. Yung hopecore.
Huh?
Ano ba yung, ito sa akin sorry mga bata. Paki-explain nga, ano ibig sabihin ng term dashcore? Ano ibig sabihin nun? Parang may hopecore, sadcore, parang gano'n. Ano yun?
Ang huli ko pang trend na nasakyan yung
So parang sinasabi nila na dahil daw
yung Jet 2. Jet 2 holidays.
Na parang dahil daw nagtuturo siya ng kindness or it makes you feel hopeful na it's hopecore.
So, optimism.
So, yes. Ano ba yan? Nauubusan naman ng vocabulary ang mga bata ngayon.
O baka may quota ng entries sa
Yung
sa Merriam-Webster na kailangan may bago kang term na
may repurpose.
Oo, per capita.
Diyos ko, Maria Joseph. I mean, sure. Why not? Anyway, yun. Na para siyang, it's making people feel hopeful daw. As if it's something so foreign. And I guess it's a foreign thing ngayon.
It's kinda needed right now. Especially sa political and, world climate nowadays.
Mm-hmm. As the writer and director, did James Gunn do justice by the character?
Do justice. Not yet.
Ayaw nga, no? Well, hindi Justice League. Justice Gang. Not our name.
Ayun nga very Marvel yung mga jokes
Yun.
Parang this is like if Marvel made Superman. In a way.
And I don't think that's a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. Kasi kahit naman yung mga comic books, 'di ba? Yung Marvel and DC, isa lang din yung pool of writers niyan. 'Di ba? Tatawiran lang din sila ng fences.
Kaya nga.
So it's expected and it's not it shouldn't be like a mortal sin na magka-tone ang Marvel and DC because they're both comic books and they both entertain young kids.
True.
Yung mga matatanda lang naman yung nagagalit na
Which is ironic kasi nga the adults who get mad about these films were first entertained by these comic books as children.
Oo.
So parang
nakalimutan yata nilang for kids talaga ang comic books.
Oo nga In that, with that in mind, may naalala ko sinabi mo nung, I think, nung second time natin pinanood yung Superman. Yung sabi mo na, natutuwa ka kasi, ang dami nating bata na kasabay na seem to be very invested in the character.
Yes, yun kasi yung nawawala dun sa Snyder Superman na parang he's too adult. Para siyang Adult Swim. Hindi pwedeng panoorin ng mga bata.
True.
'Di ba? So hindi sila masyadong makarelate, yung mga matatanda yung mas invested dun sa story. And I respect them if they like it more. Pero kasi Superman is parang a Boy Scout.
Yes.
He's like a hero for the kids. He's a role model. So parang yun yung nawala na bumalik ngayon. Yun yung sinabi ko sa inyo. Natutuwa ako na may mga bata na talagang tumatawa ng malakas. Tapos kapag kay Crypto, talagang tuwan-tuwa sila.
Crypto.
Mas nakaka-relate sila dito sa character na to ng Superman. Siguro dahil nga kasi mas human siya.
Yes. Yun. Yun yung biggest strength nito. It's for a story about an alien, it's so very human. Especially, and this movie's been out for about a couple of weeks na. So, full spoilers for Superman. Yung monologue niya sa dulo na parang yung sinasabihan niya si Lex. I wake up every day, I make mistakes, ganyan-ganyan. Yun yung pinakamagandang part ng movie para sa akin. Yung credo niya na, I may be this super being, but I'm human.
I'm as human as you are.
Yan.
Parang I just take one foot in front of the other. Di ko alam kung anong mangyayari. And alam mo yun, medyo naiyak ako dun.
Same.
Dun sa part na yun.
Galing
talagang, syempre, naka-witness mo naman dun sa niya na nagagalit siya, naiinis siya, naiirita siya. May mga pet peeves siya, di ba?
Natutuwa ako dun, naiinis, naiirita siya. Lalo na yung kay Crypto, na parang talagang, as a pet parent, alam mo yung pakiramdam ng parang pag pinapaupo mo lang yung, pinapilme mo yung,
makulit, no?
Sobrang kulit. Tapos biglang kapag, pinagalitan, biglang, tapos biglang, lalambot na ulit.
Nakalimutan mo na yung atraso. Ano yun, sabi niya, yung pinaka-naiinis siyang hashtag?
Super shit. Gusto ko yun
Gusto ko yun.
Tapos malaman mo na yung, yung mga troll army niya, ni Lex yung gumagawa niyan.
Mga monkeys talaga.
Mga monkey niya. Which are in the comics, by the way.
Talaga?
Comic accurate yan.
Wow.
So, yun yung characterization, the writing is fantastic. Acting also, magaling.
Hindi ba super? Not fantastic?
Sorry. The writing, sorry. Sige, we're reserving our adjectives na. Sige, para dito sa, everything is super.
Yes, yan, tama.
Pero may mga parts din naman siyang hindi super. Like yung...
super mid?
Hindi man super... super shit. Hindi naman. Yung... sa akin ang dami masyado. Rekado. Doon sa putahe.
Tama. When steak could have been fine. Diba?
I mean, steak and sides. Oo.
And mashed potato.
I get it na parang he want, pinakain tayo ng laureate eh. Walang problema sa laureate.
Chop suey, no?
Pero parang alam mo yung kung halimbawa, kakain ka ulit sa isang restaurant na bago, gusto mo, yung ano muna yung bestseller nyo. Huwag mo akong bigyan ng the greatest hits. Parang nag-succeed lang yung aspect na yon of the story dahil dun sa galing ni James Gunn na gumawa ng ensemble stories talaga.
Yun kasing strength niya talaga eh.
Oo.
Very team.
Tama.
Oo, kasi parang hindi, so far, please correct me if I'm wrong, mga works ni James Gunn mas more leaning towards team dynamics and not really one character. I don't know kung yung Peacemaker, ganun, pero parang team din yun eh.
Team din yun, may team Peacemaker din dun, di ba?
Oo, so parang yun talaga yung kanyang
Kasi ito, I mean, kahit nga nung writer pa lang siya, yung Scooby-Doo, team na yun eh.
True,
diba?
True.
Yung Slither tsaka yung Super, doon naman yung parang exceptions to the rule kasi
yung Super, pwedeng mag-count.
Na team?
Hindi, na solo.
Si diba? Si
Rainn Wilson, yes.
Tsaka yung Slither. Yun.
Slither naman kasi hindi naman siya makakount na parang may bidang isa eh. Kasi horror.
Mas more homage pa yung ginagawa niya dito sa dalawang to. Doon sa mga gusto niyang...
body horror yun Oo.
Pero ito yung Guardians. Yung Suicide Squad na maganda.
The Suicide Squad.
Superman. And Peacemaker, sabi mo nga.
Parang, kahit yung Dawn of the Dead, di ba?
Dawn of the Dead.
It's
yun.
an
Ensemble story din. Yan, magaling siyang magsulat ng gupog na na kwento talaga eh.
Okay din naman na he played to his strengths.
Yes.
And yun naman din yung dahilan siguro kung bakit siya pinagkatiwalaan ni Peter Safran.
Kaya din siguro hindi mo din masabi na parang it's a film buff speaking, it's a negative. Kasi of course for this you want focus.
The titular character,
and clarity, of course, tama. Pero kung strength naman siya nung filmmaker, di ba? Why
and
not?
if he does it well, okay. He delivered.
And I'm so happy na he added to the cultural zeitgeist characters like yung si Mr. Terrific.
Yun. Gusto ko yun.
Tsaka si Guy Gardner.
Favorite ko si Mr. Terrific. Ang ganda ng mga banat niya. Tsaka, ang ganda nung set piece niya.
Mr. Terrific aka
Yondu.
Ganda. As gusto ko yung
parang time in a bottle.
Yung kanta dun sa kay Yondu sa 2, yung come a little bit closer, you're my may gano'n, diba? Tapos yung nililipad yung araw niya.
In fairness, kinontrol niya yung parang 70s, 80s tunes niya.
Dito?
Oo
nga, medyo hindi siya naging jukebox.
Walang mixtape.
Wala. Paano kaya kung yung susunod
Superman mixtape.
Come on, James, do it.
I dare you. I double dare you.
Superman Volume 2. May Walkman na si may iPad na si Luther Pod. Siyempre siya gagawa
podcast na.
Yung gagawa siya nung ganung niya. Like,
wow, kakalabanin pa tayo sa podcast. As if,
feeling naman natin, di ba? Anyway, I guess we're just to wrap this up for Superman. I mean, performances are great. Writing, everything is great about it. Siyempre, for some, meron magiging gripes, like yun nga medyo unwieldy. Yung dami ng tao, yung kwento, blah, blah, blah. Pero, for a relaunch of the DCU, hindi na DCEU, DCU, it's a super beginning. Super start siya. Ikaw?
Yes, I definitely agree. This is a super exciting beginning. Yeah. DCU first steps.
Yeah, actually, no? Tama. So, for Superman, for DC. Hindi pa. Incomplete pa yung DCU. For Superman, we're gonna be giving it a grade of A. Natuwa naman ako dun sa homage nung yung sa mga tugtog. Pero, homage lang. Hindi niya talagang pinatugtog yung buong John Williams na Superman.
Iba nga, no?
Nagkaroon pa rin siya ng sarili niya. Okay na yan. Ganda.
Pero maganda din yung mga songs, na siningit ni James Gunn.
Na yung mga needle drop niya.
Yung mga punk rock.
Isa credits. Yung kay Iggy Pop. Yung,
I love that.
And the Mighty Crab Joys. We are the Mighty Crab Joys.
O, diba? Nakabisado mo na.
Siya din yung nagsulat nun. Parang yung Guardians Inferno. Dati. James Gunn din. Anyway, so, that's it for Superman. And let's now shift gears. At doon naman tayo sa Over the Barcode. Ano naman tayo? Kumbaga, galing tayo sa kapamilya, pumunta naman tayo ng kapuso.
Okay.
That's the
kaso
best.
friends na sila ngayon eh.
Friends naman sila ngayon. Diba? Galing naman si James Gunn sa Marvel.
Kung sa bagay.
Diba?
Nasa mga promos nga ng Superman yung from the director of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Diba?
Parang, wow ha, DC ginamit as marketing Marvel movie.
Diba nagustuhan niyo yun? Do you know? Diba? Diba gusto niyo Eat Bulaga? May showtime.
Medyo nagdo-double down na din sila doon na parang, we're not so different, me and Marvel.
Tama. And that's true.
Yes.
Kasi yun naman yung nakakatawa na gusto nila talagang gawing delineation na parang, parang kayong comic book movie. You both can be fun. And kaya nga maganda yung unang Wonder Woman, at least dun sa DCEU, kasi it felt like Captain America, the first Avenger. Yun yung sinasabi natin way back. Parang, kaya ang ganda na ito. Parang yun yung feels niya. Kaya dito naman tayo sa bakuran ni Marvel Studios. And we're gonna talk about the highly anticipated, if not one of the most anticipated films, hindi lang superhero movies, in recent memory.
Yes.
And that's the Fantastic Four First Steps, directed by Matt Shakman, starring Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby,
Papa P.
Actually, cousin Ebon Moss-Bachrach, and
Eddie Munson.
Yes, forever in our hearts, Joseph Quinn.
Puro sila TV actors pala, no?
Maliban kay Vanessa. Kasi si Vanessa...
Ano ba, Vanessa?
Hindi, nag-transition
The Crown
na
yun
alam ko, pero kasi mas nag-transition na si Vanessa into movie. Ako sa akin personally, dahil sa Mission Impossible.
Pero mas tumatak siya sa akin sa The Crown eh.
So, ano season niya? 1 to 3, di ba?
Oo.
Siya si Princess Margaret. Yan. Tapos, syempre, Pedro Pascual tuloy.
Si Papa P. Pedro Pascual.
Si Pedro Pascal.
Kuya ni Piolo.
Hindi ako magtataka kung biglang may distant na pala sila.
Marehan sila. Joke.
Oopsie. Ano tawag dito? Pedro, of course, Game of Thrones. Narcos. Yung pangalawang Kingsman. Yan. Ano pa?
Mandalenyo.
The Mandalorian yan. Basta, he's everywhere.
The Last of Us,
yeah. Pedro fever is everywhere.
Okay. He's here. He's there. He's where?
Pedro Pascal.
Shout out sa mga Ted Lasso fans out there.
I guess it's a good place to start for Fantastic Four. Kumusta yung casting nila para sa'yo?
Actually, perfect. Alam mo yung...
Fantastic.
Telefantastic. Kasi di ba parang, alam mo yung parang silang nagpa-survey na kung sinong pinakabagay dito sa character na to. And para siyang fantasy casting ng mga fans.
I'm so glad you said that.
Di ba?
Oo. Naalala ko tuloy yung meron akong website na parang kasali ako dati. Ang pangalan na parang yung fan casting website siya eh. Na parang ini-email ako lagi na parang yun, MyCast. Yun. Shout out sa mga nagma-mycast.com dyan. Yung mga nagsasabi na parang sino may gusto nyong
Mr.
Fantastic. Sino yung gusto nyong actually ito lang X-Men. Sino gusto nyong mga Charles Xavier. Sino gusto nyong
mga ribo-tribo.
Oo. So yun, yeah. Actually, it's so perfect. Yes, na parang Pedro was made for the role. Vanessa, yes. Ebon medyo dark horse yan. Kasi wala siya sa radar ko as the Thing. Pero sige, we'll dissect that further mamaya. Pero nga, sige, yun. Si Ebon tsaka si Joseph Quinn. Ikaw, yung sa kanila, bagay ba sila? Dun sa roles nila?
kay Joseph Quinn bagay sana sa personality niya. Seeing him as Eddie Munson sa Stranger Things, parang talagang na-emulate niya yung fiery nature ni Johnny doon.
Sa Stranger Things?
Sa Stranger Things. Pero dito, parang, alam mong he's capable of it. Pero parang tamed siya dito eh. Kumbaga parang nagbabagang uling lang siya, hindi siya nagbabagang apoy. I would have wanted parang something like Eddie Munson, ganun ka wild card, ganun ka sobrang, alam mo yun,
parang
wild, mas wild pa.
Playboy-ish ang dating.
Yun naman kasi yung character niya eh. Actually, yung Chris Evans na Johnny Storm, parang ganun.
Kaya tumatak yun eh, no?
Oo, kasi he's full of himself, he's vain, and he's a womanizer, tapos sobra niyang wild card, sobra niyang unpredictable. Yun naman kasi yung nature ng Fire.
Oo.
So parang mas gusto ko pa sana na emulate ni Joseph Quinn yon dito sa movie na to. Although I know Joseph Quinn can do it.
Siguro kaya hindi man siya nerfed yung character niya. At this point in time, parang medyo hindi PC nang maging out and out playboy yung yung character niya.
So, natatakot maka-offend.
Oo. May may dito mga couple of jokes na parang
baka toxic masculinity yun, gano'n.
Oo, na parang natawa ako kasi it's comedy from our time. Na parang siyang yung mga tipo, kung masabihin na parang American Pie na joke. Pero yung parang meron siyang tinge of green. Yung mga ibang jokes. Pero alam mo yung parang literally nobody was laughing. Na parang ganun na baka yung comedy or what? Na parang may mga certain...
To quote the kids, very softcore.
Iba yung alam kong softcore. No. No, kids. No. Yun, na parang hindi mo na magagawa yung Chris Evans, Johnny Storm ngayon eh. Lest you want to be cancelled. Kaya siguro parang...
yung danger, no? Pero Matt Shakman, I mean, Always Sunny, di ba? Alam naman natin yung tipo ng humor ng taong yun.
I mean, yeah, I don't think you can bring Sunny, Always Sunny sensibilities to Marvel. I don't think so. As much as...
alam mo kung tatawag nila ni KD kapag ka Always Sunny?
Ano?
Shut up, B.
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 Dapat si pala, dapat si, tawag dito, sino to? Ang pangalan niya, kapatid niya? Si Dennis?
Si D.
Yung si Dennis Reynolds. Di ba siya si Golden God? Siya pala dapat si yung character ni ni Will Poulter sa Guardians. Si Adam Warlock.
Oo.
Dapat siya pala
Golden God.
Siya yung Golden God. Pero yun, for Johnny Storm's character, medyo gets ko kung bakit ganun siya. Doesn't mean I'm okay with it. Pero yun na nga it could have been more. We could have seen more from his characterization. Although may mga may mga hints naman na parang siya yung thorn on the side of Reed. Lagi siya inaasar. Pero hindi ganun ka, parang dalas.
Oo.
Ang bilis na parang they're on the same page.
Masyado silang harmonious and magkasundo. Pero kasi yun yung world na gustong tayong i-immerse in. Na this is a world of harmony and peace and order and, people love each other. Parang ganun siya. So parang it kinda took me aback ng konti kasi hindi ito yung MCU na kinasanayan ko, to be honest.
Medyo utopia eh. Yan.
And, oo, kasi ibang world to eh.
True.
Hindi ito yung world na kinagisnan natin or alam natin. This is Earth 828. Yeah.
Yan. So, doon naman kay Ben Grimm, aka The Thing, may allusions siguro or baka ako personally mali lang yung basa ko sa trailer. Kasi parang pinakita doon may isang trailer shot na yung pinapanood niya yung TV, yung newsreel nung lumang mukha niya. Tapos parang he looks wistful. Na parang, inisip ko na parang, okay, so magiging struggle niya is him parang still wanting to go back to being yung human, normal human.
Body dysmorphia.
Pwede.
Yun naman talaga doon nagsisenter talaga yung character niya sa comics.
Oo,
diba?
talaga, di ba? Paulit-ulit. Magiging human, magiging bato siya. Tapos kapag human siya, mamimiss niya na thing siya, gagawa siya ng suit na gawa sa bato. Yung ganun eh. By the way, that's a real thing.
That's a real thing.
Na, yun. Pero dito, yun na nga eh, they're put together. Ayoko sabihin too put together, pero yun na nga, they're already put together in the sense
they're
na...
so mature. There's not much conflict personally, yung mga characters.
Oo, walang inner conflict.
Walang arc masyado. Kasi they're already there. They've already actualized themselves, siguro, in a way.
And parang nagkaroon na ng... Ayoko sabihin daya. Parang yun na yung chessboard na sinet ng movie. Kasi sinabi nila na they've been the Fantastic Four
for 4 years.
For 4 years.
So, yun yung explanation. And, okay lang naman kung ganun. Na parang, napagdaanan na nila yun and hindi na natin siya nakita.
Pero, mas gusto ko sana kung yung scene was about them coming together. 'Di ba? Yung tipong, siguro dahil ganun lang tayo sanay na, especially sa comics, na sinanay tayo na parang they're, yung parang telenovela. Sila yung telenovela ng Marvel Comics eh.
True.
Kasi palaging may interpersonal drama, laging may romance, laging may bagong
member, may
Si
aalis.
Johnny. Yun, tama.
May papalit.
Oo.
May magtatampo, tapos lilipat ng ibang team.
Tapos may pupunta sa ilalim ng dagat.
Oh.
Maghahanap ng ng labing-labing kasi yung isa dyan,
mi amor,
masyadong tutok sa trabaho. Pero yung ganon, nawala yung ganong klaseng dynamic. However, naintindihan naman natin kung bakit ganon yung atake nila. Kasi they chose to focus on the team itself as a singular unit. Hindi siya yung parang yung Fantastic Four are 4 different people. Parang bond coming together. Hindi. It's about the family being galvanized against this bigger threat.
And protecting one of their own.
Oh, yun.
Tsaka nauuso din nga ngayon na in media res na yung mga introductory films.
Oo.
Kasi case in point, just to mention it quickly, yung sa Superman, hindi rin naman siya naging origin story eh.
Yeah.
Kasi alam na natin yun eh. Spider-Man,
yun.
Homecoming, hindi rin, di ba?
Batman. Ni Pattinson.
Talagang established na sila as characters and they're faced with this new problem, this new challenge.
Yes.
So parang ganun din yung naging approach nitong Fantastic Four. And okay lang naman.
Kasi we've already seen it twice. Yun din, from the past 20 years din.
3 beses din.
Nakatatlong scene na rin kasi yung 2 Fantastic Four nila Jessica Alba, tapos yung isang Fan Four Stick. Tapos, eto.
We don't talk about Fan Four Stick. No. Ano nga bang kwento nun?
Ewan ko, hindi ko na rin maalala.
Isang movie lang yun, di ba?
Isang movie lang sila.
Hindi natuloy yung sequel.
I mean, who would want a sequel to that movie?
Oo.
Pero, yun ang sa akin lang, hindi ko lang ine-expect na, base dun sa mga trailers din, na merong isang element dito na would inform siguro the group dynamic in a way na is different from other MCU group films. Ano ba? Magsaspoil ba tayo? Hindi muna.
Medyo kakalabas niya lang.
Oo nga kakalabas lang So,
Superman has been out for 3 weeks na. Ito kami parang first weekend pa lang. So, let's not spoil it for
yes. Pero,
although, if we want a spoiler tag here, stop listening here if you haven't watched it.
Pwede.
Pero madami na nating sabi kanina. If you're still here, then you wanna be spoiled or if you've seen it already. So,
true. Yun lang na parang
go for it.
Dahil kay Franklin dahil dun sa anak na parang kaya siya, it's not about parang conflict between Johnny and Sue and Ben and Reed. It's about them 4 against Galactus because Galactus wants Franklin. So para siyang the Fantastics, the Incredibles.
Yun.
In that sense. Oo.
With Jack.
Oo, parang ko si Jack yung yung
gustong
kunin ni Underminer.
Ni Lady Gaga.
Yun pala yun. I mean, ayoko naman masabi ko lang dito. Andito din pala si Moleman. I mean, for fans of the comics, you're gonna have fun with, I guess, the first 10 minutes.
Ang daming Easter eggs.
Easter eggs galore. Pero yun lang pala yun. Napagtanto ko na yung sa Incredibles, yung si Underminer.
Is Moleman.
Si Moleman.
Ba't di nila kinuha yung director and writer ng Incredibles?
Diba? Yun. Actually, sinabi ko nga sa yun nung pangalawang nood natin na parang it's within Disney. So, corporate synergy. Hello. So, parang ba't hindi nila kinuha si Brad Bird?
Alam mo, ang dami ko nga nakikita ng mga posts na mga memes na parang, so this is the live action version of The Incredibles. I mean, where's the lie? Pero in a good way.
Ano na siya ganun na kasi yung sobrang late in the game na siya nagawa ng tama Kaya okay lang naman. And it's the most obvious comparison. So
I mean, it's a good comparison kasi Incredibles.
That's true.
Is incredible.
That's true. Kaya in that sense, the fantastic acting comes into play kasi talagang na-embody nilang apat yung care na meron nila for each other. Yun na nga kasi wala na nga nung conflict masyado. Talagang kita mo na si Johnny tsaka si Ben, talagang yung protective na mga tito. And yung mag-asawa din.
Siguro medyo nag-expect lang ako kasi ang gagaling ng mga actors na kinast nila. And we all know they're all dramatic actors.
Yun.
So parang, I was looking for a little bit more drama. Siguro.
True.
Pero, hindi siya fit dito sa story na kinukwento nila. And hindi siya fit dun sa world na ini-introduce tayo.
Yun. And with that in mind, the world being introduced, alam ko nung parang reaction tayo dun sa preview na pinanood natin.
Yung first 26 minutes.
Yes. Talagang tuwan-tuwa ka dun sa aesthetic ng sine.
I was smitten by it talaga. Parang yun pa lang, sabi ko, okay, I'm sold. As a fan of Mad Men and yung 60s era, yung pre-moon landing
yung parang,
generation.
Parang X-Men First Class na parang ganun.
Yung parang they're still wondering about the possibilities of what's out there, what's in space. Ganon, yung vibe niya and yung set design. Sobrang talagang grabe yung detail as in yung mga brands. Tapos yung, alam mo, natutuwa nga ako, sabi ko sa'yo, para siyang Jetsons.
Yun alam mo, yung pinagpipitagan nila na parang sobrang practical ng mga sets. May isang, dun sa 2 beses natin siya napanood, meron ako isang laging moment na nag-fixate ako na parang sobrang natutuwa akong makita na it's a real thing. Alam mo yun pa nagsa-strap in sila dun sa Excelsior. Nung papunta sila dun sa kay Galactus. Yung buckle nila, nung 4, yung kitang-kita mo yung shininess nung plastic, nung metal na gano'n, na parang, yes, I want one. Yung 4 na yun.
Kailan kaya magiging ride yun sa Disneyland, no?
Feeling ko yun na yung magiging next na rebrand ng Space Mountain.
Excelsior.
Fantastic. Fantastic Mountain. Sure, why not? You're welcome, Disney.
Pero talaga, as in, sobrang ganda ng colors, sobrang ganda ng hairstyle and makeup, sobrang ganda ni Sue. Tapos, alam mo yung napaka-nostalgic niya dun sa mga lumang comic books, yung talagang unang-una pa, panahon pa ni Jack Kirby and Stan Lee. Yun talaga yung itsura. Parang kang nanonood ng comic books come to life.
Parang nanonood ng cartoons. Fantastic Four. Which is actually, which is referenced in a very meta way. Nakakatuwa. Pero yun, kung meron lang akong mapupuna, okay? Medyo obvious yung ibang CGI.
What can you say about Galactus and si Silver Surfer? 2 very CGI heavy characters.
In terms of CGI. Kay Silver Surfer, medyo na bibili ko yung appearance niya. as that. Kasi may mga close-ups siya na sobrang ramdam mong parang totoo eh. Ito din, maliban nun sa yung buckle, yung seat buckle nila na 4. Lagi ko na dun sa yung may shot si Shalabal na ini-introduce siya, na pinapakita yung ulo niya ganyan. Nakita mo yung buhok niya parang naka-gel na naka-wax. Na parang ang tigas na nakaganon. Natutuwa ako makita yung ganon na parang talagang, oh wow.
Childhood mo ba yun? Ganun ba kadami yung gel mo sa buhok mo? Hindi wax na, gel.
Gel pa pala, sorry. Yung talagang sobrang, yung buhok talagang nakapirming ganon.
Pag kinatok mo tutunog.
Pero yung mukha siya talagang mukhang bakal talaga. Nakakatuwa siya tignan. So yung kay Shalabal, walang problema. Although towards the end, medyo parang siyang, kita mo na yung CGI. Pero yung kay Galactus, parang sa simula pa lang nung una lumabas siya, parang siyang, parang medyo yung CGI. Obvious na obvious.
Although nakulangan pa ng konti sa colors. Masyadong muted yung pagka-color purple and blue niya.
Gusto mo ba na mas purple pa?
Mas purple. As a purple girl, my favorite color is purple.
Purple. Siguro,
mas parang talong hindi purple.
Talong na na. Hindi yung talong na hinog.
Yung talong na
papanis na.
Inihaw na.
Gagawin na
papunta na doon. Pa-purple bro.
Pa-purple. Tortang Galactus na yan. Pero pagdating naman niya sa Earth, nung nung tinawag na siya nila Reed, medyo umokay ulit.
Umokay, oo.
Pero pagdating sa may dulo, sa may portal na, parang medyo, siya uneven yung CGI niya. Yun sa akin. For a movie that relies heavily on CGI, and parang this has been a Marvel thing. Ako na sabihin problem kasi parang siyang, it's something that we're just gonna have to live with na.
Okay.
Na the VFX houses of these films are just absolutely overworked. So parang ayoko din naman silang kastiguhin masyado.
Oo. Tsaka itong movie na to, sobrang CGI heavy din talaga. I would imagine yung sobrang bigat ng workload.
Yes.
Just for one character. I mean, si Johnny Storm, di ba? Lalo na dito kahit yung case thing, malinis yung CGI niya. Yun. Ganda nung CGI.
Pero may mga times pa nagsasalita si Ting na parang medyo hindi gumagalaw ng sabay yung bibig. Medyo, huli ng konti siya. Pero, yun
ang masyado lang talagang malinaw yung salamin mo.
Pinanood kasi natin siya sa
Sa akin kasi medyo malabo na.
Sa IMAX na, alam ko, hindi 4K, parang mga 2K resolution. So talagang sobrang linaw. Tapos na-invite din tayo manood doon sa launch ng A-Giant sa Trinoma.
Yes, ang ganda.
Thank you, Ayala Cinemas and Disney for that. And sobrang ang linaw. Just being practical, kung wala kayong budget na pang IMAX, I mean, A-Giant Trinoma is the next best thing. Talaga.
Maganda yung projection, malinaw yung colors,
Dolby
very
Atmos.
sharp. Ang ganda ng sound. Yun lang masasabi ko. Di ba dati siyang THX?
Dati, oo.
So maganda talaga yung acoustics dun sa cinema na yun.
Kaya talagang niretain nila na maganda yung sound.
Tsaka mas Dolby Atmos talaga yung fini-feature nila dun not really the IMAX or the screen. Kasi the screen is pahaba
Oo.
Hindi siya pataas
Oo. Tsaka mas nilapit yung audience doon. Sorry, mini review ng A-Giant. Ang ganda ng A-Giant. Ang galing. Nakakatuwa. Hindi ba tayo nakapanood ng A-Giant kahit dun sa Ayala Malls Manila Bay? Or sa Vertis? So parang ito yung first experience natin. And it was great. It was fantastic.
It was a nice experience. A fantastic experience.
Yes.
Super fantastic.
Pero yun, casting, wala masabi for fantastic. For the set design, world building, also fantastic.
Yeah.
In terms of the story, I mean, hindi ko pa siya magraduhan ng complete kasi it's in the service of another story, as is usual sa MCU.
Pero it's pretty standalone para sa akin, maganda yung story kasi hindi siya related sa kahit anong MCU movie. You don't have to parang refresh anything. You don't have to watch other shows or movies just to relate to this. Kumbaga, you can come in kahit hindi ka MCU fan.
True.
It's just a straightforward movie about the family and about the involving people with superpowers and planet eaters. Pero alam mo yun, hindi siya kailangan ng too much research for you to appreciate it.
And the movie actually does it for you. Meron siyang montage that brings you up to speed.
Creative yung exposition niya.
True.
Hindi siya nagtetel lahat. Hindi siya nag-information dump.
Gusto ko sinabi mo yung creative yung exposition niya. Yung pinapakita sa trailer na yung si Ted Gilbert. Yung si Mark Gatiss.
Siya yung nag-ano.
Siya yung parang ganun. Yung specials niya yung nagkakwento about the Fantastic Four. Ang ganda kasi, ano din siya bookend siya nung scene. Nakakatawa, ang ganda. Pero, yun na nga, yung CGI pa din. Yun pa rin yung thorn on the side of MCU. It's
not a Fantastic
Four. It's not a Fantastic Four thing.
Parang it's recurring na.
Ano na siya ayoko, ano mas ba yung term? Systemic.
Kaya siguro, parang iba yung impact sa akin ng story ng Thunderbolts. Kasi hindi siya masyado dependent on CGI.
True. Ano mas nagustuhan mo? Thunderbolts o ito?
Magkaiba siya. Magkaiba siya ng tone, ng vibe, tsaka ng feels.
Okay. For two movies na are almost the same in terms of family, they're very different for you.
Very different.
Okay.
Oo. Kasi ito, nuclear family to
True.
Tapos yung Thunderbolts message is chosen family.
Found family.
So, magkaparehas siya similar, pero magkaiba siya ng atake. Parehas silang maganda, pero yung mas heavy yung topic ni Thunderbolts kumpara dito.
Oo. And yun na nga, Thunderbolts is for a more mature audience. Kaya siguro para sa akin, mas nag-resonate ako doon. Pero alam ko din naman yung importansya na itong Fantastic Four. Especially ang dami niya kasi kailangan gawin. Kailangan niyang i-reboot yung Fantastic Four para sa MCU. Kailangan niya ipakita na hindi pangit ang Fantastic Four to general audiences. Tapos, yun, basically just continuing yung streak, kumbaga.
It's also starting Phase 6.
Yun pa.
Siya yung opening ng Phase 6 and ito yung parang first step natin towards the culminating event. Yung Doomsday. Kasi Dr. Doom is the arch enemy of the Fantastic Four. So talagang sa kanila mag-uumpisa yung kwento ni Doom. Kaya sila importante. So tama ka, ang dami niyang kailangang gawin. Ang dami niyang kailangang i-check sa list niya.
Yeah, and for what it was setting out to do, ano yung mga nasa shoulders niya, nakagawa siya ng pretty great movie. Fantastic movie, actually.
Actually, may emotion din naman siya. May emotional depth din siya Kasi naiyak ako. Both times nung pinanood natin siya 2 beses. Grabe yung kwento about motherhood. I don't wanna spoil anything, pero just, alam mo yung iba talaga kapag ka-family mo na yung tinithreaten.
True.
Oo, talagang, alam mo yung mga myths and legends na nakakapagbuhat ka ng isang buong kotse, ganun, just to save your child. Very ganun yung energy.
Tama. Sue Storm, MVP of the movie. Para sa akin, talaga.
She's mothering.
Oo.
Yeah.
Talagang kapag Mom of the Year, Sue Storm. In
magkasama
so many
na
ways.
sila ni Wanda.
Ay!
Sa Best Mothers.
Gusto ko magitin dalawang yun. Yes, please.
Playdate yung mga nila.
Mom off. Ay, nako. Anyway, so for Fantastic Four, first steps, anong grade ang ibibigay natin?
For me, I'm gonna give it an A.
Yeah, I agree. Despite its shortcomings, siguro mas magbibigay na lang ako ng credit sa kanya for what it achieved based on what it set out to do. Kung ano yung responsibilities, quote-unquote, na meron niya.
Nagampanan niya.
Talaga.
Just like the very responsible and upstanding Fantastic Four in Earth 828. Sobra nilang role model. Alam mo, ano nga ako yun, na parang hindi na nila kailangan sabihin sa general public yung mga ibang bagay, pero sinabi pa rin nila kasi napaka-honest and sobrang grabe yung integrity nila.
Yun. Oo.
Na talagang dinisclose nila kahit yun. Kahit na at the risk of them being,
Parang
hated for it.
Oo. Talagang they were heroes.
Heroes talaga sila.
Yeah.
And yun siguro yung gustong i-depict ng Marvel this time.
And yeah, for that, they succeeded with flying colors as well. So, that's it for Fantastic Four First Steps. Yes. Tayo'y magtungo papunta sa pinilakang tabing ng Pilipinas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Philippines.
And let's talk about Sunshine. Okay?
That we're not seeing a lot of lately.
Oh my God, yes. As of the moment of recording, parang kakahupa lang ata nung isa sa worst na mga stretches of rain we've ever experienced. I hope you are all okay and safe wherever you are. Okay, well, I think nag-post tayo nung kasagsagan ng bagyo na parang if you need help, there are contact numbers you can reach out to. If you still need help, wag kayong mahihiya na magtanong. Or kontakin sila. Kung may tulong ba dito. Ano to? Also, we want to thank Franz Ivan, a good friend of our good friend, CJ Says Vlog, for inviting us to see Sunshine. Na-invite tayo dun sa special block screening ni Jenica Garcia.
Yes.
For the movie. Very, very fortunate to be invited. Thank you, Miss Jenica, for also having us.
Yes.
So yeah, Sunshine. Medyo matagal na natin nakikita na may konting buzz to. Especially kasi nilaban siya sa Berlin and sa Toronto. A Project 8 and Anima and Creative Den joint. Itong movie na to. Written and directed by the great Tonet Hadaune. Okay? And of course, starring one of our fast rising actresses. Talaga. Maris Racal.
And Jenica Garcia.
Actually, I mean, so sorry for that. Ayoko masabihin na may expectations tayo. Kasi yun nga, parang okay. We haven't seen a trailer of this bago natin pinanood talaga. So we were going in blind.
Familiar lang ako dun sa logline. And of course, surmising from the poster that it's about gymnast.
Yes.
So, parang I gathered na this is like a sports film, sports drama. Pero, yeah, it's a lot more than that.
Yes.
Hindi siya yung parang formulaic sports films that we're used to.
Yeah. And we're not gonna spoil what the movie is about. So, we're gonna do our best to skirt around plot points and revelations. Kasi, sige, I'll get out of the way. Sabihin ko na agad yun ako kasi I would love to hear your thoughts about this. Especially na this is a very feminist movie. Okay? I really like this movie. Sunshine.
Yeah.
Okay? One of the better Filipino films that we've seen in recent memory.
This year, yeah.
I mean, certainly this year, one of the best. Pero natuwa ako dun sa kung gaano siya ka-challenging. Not just to the viewer, but to the societal norms, yung mga mores na dinadala natin individually as individuals sa sinihan, as people, as Filipinos, especially, as tayo, as Catholics.
Yes.
Yeah? Na parang, okay, the gutsiness of this film is...
And yung kultura rin talaga.
Oo, absolutely admirable.
Yes.
Talaga.
So,
Maris Racal is fantastic. I didn't expect her to give this powerful performance. Talaga. Not to say na parang hindi siya capable. No. Kasi even though we absolutely detested the last film that we saw that she was in,
No,
yung Marupok.
I did not like that.
Yan. I didn't like it, pero I had to give credit to how chameleonic her performance was. Talagang
She was good in it, but I didn't like the movie.
Yun, pero you have to give credit to how she immersed herself in the role. Talagang in-embody niya.
She was effective in that role.
Effective siya. Ngayon, dito naman, parang china-channel niya yung same actor's strength sa paghugot ng parang hindi lang malalim eh. Kasi talagang yung pinaka-thesis statement itong scene na to, I mean, alam ko hindi ako babae. So,
hindi ba?
So, some of you may say na parang I don't have a right to say this, pero I'm gonna say na parang this is parang something na goes far deeper than just being human. This is something na parang as a woman, this is a very uniquely female story. Talaga.
Yes. As a woman, as a woman, I can honestly say that yes, you are right. This is a story told by a woman, very appropriately so.
Mm-hmm.
It speaks to all women, and it sends a very, very timely and important message to society about women's rights and women's choice.
Yan.
Sobrang importante nitong movie na to, especially sa mga taong ignorant sa mga nangyayari talaga sa babae and what happens, the consequences of yung kung ano yung dinidikta ng mundo na dapat maging sila. Or kung ano yung dapat nilang gawin sa katawan nila. Parang, almost all the time against their will. So, para sa akin, napaka-brave nitong movie na to because it also tackles religion and yung taboo topic na talagang bravely niyang she just dived in it. 'Di ba? Napaka-lalim ng pagkakahugot nitong gusto niyang sabihin. Hindi siya nag-hold back. She didn't pull her punches. Direct. In how she tackled yung ambition. 'Di ba? And iba na kasi ang generation ng women ngayon eh. Women now are not just focused on being homemakers or being just a mom. Hindi na siya parang...
Actually, even just being a partner.
Married,
hindi na.
Or in a relationship. Pa, diba? Parang women have evolved so much in this generation that they're not just one thing anymore. Unlike before. Pero kasi, yung society natin and yung kultura natin is still in that backward thinking na kailangan babae ka, mag-aasawa ka, mag-aanak ka, magiging nanay ka. And you will raise children and grandchildren. That's your goal in life. That's the essence of you. 'Di ba? Parang, no, it's so much more than that now. People or women have dreams, they have goals, they have ambitions, and sometimes that kind of life hindi siya nag-a-align doon. And sobrang relatable niya kasi lahat ng babae naririnig yan sa lahat ng mga nakakatanda. Na kailangan ganito ka, kailangan ganyan ka, bawal yan, masama yan, hindi tanggap ng Diyos yan, na parang you have no choice eh. Parang tinatanggalan ka ng agency sa sarili mong buhay and sa sarili mong desisyon and sa sarili mong katawan. Just because of what they say and what they want, especially kahit yung mga pamilya and yung mga role models, sa kanila pa nanggagaling na yung parang maling guidance na yon. So, yeah. Ayokong i-reveal talaga kung ano yung, kasi yun nga, tabu siya. And, it's really out to offend people.
Alam mo yun nga eh.
The right people.
I love how, yun, sige I'll say it. I love how it just goes out and just pisses off people right off the gate. Talaga parang akong, fuck you.
Ganon siya katapang.
Yun eh. Parang kung gaano kalaki yung fuck you ni Green Lantern dun sa dulo ng Superman. Ganun kalaki din yung middle finger niya to how Philippine society just, tries its best to marginalize women who are trying to, push back and gain their agency. Rightfully so. Kaya talagang, ako sa akin, sobrang talagang kudos kay Direct to Net. Kasi, yun eh, hindi mo siya, these films, these kinds of films, quote unquote, shouldn't get made. But it does. And
this
it
is
did.
Like, parang no limitangere dapat tong movie na to.
Ganun yung credo niya, ganun katapang na parang this is a film that should spark or light a fire in everyone, hindi lang sa babae in everyone who sees it. Or kung hindi man mag-aalab yung yung puso mo para dun sa mga taong apektado ng ganitong kuning pinagdaanan ng character ni Maris, magiging litmus test siya for the people that na parang, halimbawa, ito, sige, there. Mga magjowa, manood kayo neto. Okay? Women. Okay? Bring your boyfriend, your husband, to watch this movie. And
para ma-traumatize.
Hindi lang para ma-traumatize. Depende sa kung ano yung magiging sagot nila or pakiramdam nila or pananaw nila after watching this film. You may either be affirmed in na parang, okay, I made the right choice with this person I'm with. Or you may wanna think twice. Kung
tama.
medyo may mga aspeto nitong scene na to, nakakampihan yung partner niyo.
Parang fork in the road kind of movie siya.
It is. It's that kind of film. Talaga. We had a very vibrant discussion about this film with our fellow Sinehan buddies, si CJ says blog,
and Smash
That Screen.
Andrew Bitch.
Yeah. May kwento yan, di ba? Kung mga Andrew Bitch, di ba? Kasi andun si Jenica Garcia, di ba? Tapos, syempre, Jenica, andun yung nanay niya, si Miss Jean Garcia. After, yun nga, meron tayong Sinehan Buddies na group natin and yung page na where we rate movies that we see. In-interview natin si Miss Jean, in-interview ni Smash for some of the content that we're making for our page. Tapos, alam mo yung, syempre naman joking naman. Hindi naman to parang dahil talagang tinawag yung bitch talaga si Smash.
Parang Madam Claudia Buenaviste. Yung pagkakasabi ng Andrew Bitch.
Pero alam mo yung parang tipo pag tinawag yun ng bitch, parang it's an honor.
Yes. Slap me, Miss Claudia.
Ay, naka. Anyway, going back. There were some parts of the discussion natin after the film na parang ngayon na a few days after natin siya napanood, na parang medyo, ayoko naman sabihin na parang invalid siya. Kasi I would like to think naman na yung mga pinag-usapan natin doon, especially yung things that I would have wanted to see. Okay? Hindi naman sasabi niya parang, hindi, wala. Pero parang sa ngayon, looking back at the movie and then comparing it, na parang my nitpicks feel so small in comparison to what this film stands for and sets out to be.
Yeah.
Yon. Mas more na pala kasing mga stylistic things eh. Yung, ewan ko nitpick, parang more na parang, alam mo, mas okay sana kung ganito, ganyan. Yung ganon. Standard movie buff thing. Pero ngayon na parang na more na we have had time for it to digest. Parang yung Superman kanina, sinabi natin na parang its rough edges is a feature. It's not a bug. Yun eh.
It's what makes it real.
Yes.
And yeah. Wala naman akong notes eh dun sa movie. I mean, you have to focus on the message because the movie is the message.
Yes.
And that message alone parang should break worlds and reach the right people.
Yeah.
Talaga.
And
offend them because they need to be offended. They have to parang elicit intense emotions.
Kailangan
because
nilang magising.
Oo, kasi this is that kind of movie. Sobrang yung triggering at some points.
Yeah.
Pero it's necessary because this happens every day.
Happens everywhere.
And we can change this.
Oo,
we can change this. Alam mo yun, we can avoid this from happening. We can give more rights to women. And, ito yung pinaglalaban.
It's just about respecting women, period. Sa akin parang hindi ko naman sasabihin na alam ko yung bawat isang experience ng babae and yung iba-ibang mga circumstances that, they live in or exist in. Pero, and I don't want to sound ignorant, pero parang sa akin, why can't we just let women decide who they want to be? It's the simplest thing in the world.
Oh, it's every human's right.
Exactly. The same way na parang men are given free reign to be who they want to be. Let's give women the right to just to be. If they want. Alam mo, yun na nga sasabihin na parang, hindi, women have to be like this, kailangan may ganito, may ganyan. More na parang,
mas ang daming rules kapag kababae ka
Just let them be them. That's it.
Oo.
Ay, nako. Ayan, maganda. Watch it. Go watch it. SM Cinema exclusive. Talaga.
It's a necessary watch.
It's an important film. Sobrang galing.
Period.
Yeah. Alam mo yung, this movie is getting buzz na pwedeng ipadala sa Oscars.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's fucking
I'm
do
behind
this.
that.
Go.
Yeah.
Let's do this, yeah.
I mean, compared to last year, mas gusto ko tumanto.
Let's not talk about that.
I mean, this is a film.
Yes. At least ito, sino ito?
Oo, mas deserve nito. Sorry. Pero medyo, hindi pa rin talaga ako nakaka-move on dun eh. Mas maraming deserving na movie na pwedeng ipadala.
Ay, Diyos ko.
And this is that kind of movie na dapat pinapadala sa Oscar. Period. Okay?
Tama. Masabi ko lang, nakakatuwang double feature. Itong Sunshine with Flower Girl.
In fairness di ba dami?
Para siyang, it attacks the concept of womanhood from two very different fronts. One is about parang what does it mean to be a woman? In my opinion, yung si Flower Girl. Tapos itong si Sunshine, parang what are the lengths that you'd go to preserve yung talagang
how hard it is.
How hard is it? Parang yung just to survive. As a woman.
The difficult life of a
And
woman.
talagang kudos to our filmmakers na they're getting braver and braver by the day na naglalabas ng ganito. The rom-coms and all that other shit. Wala tayong magagawa doon, pero
grabe naman sa shit. We enjoy that too.
Alam ko, pero alam mo yung parang
it's a dime a dozen.
Sinasanay na tayo na may mga mas importanteng scene. And I would love to see more films like Flower Girl and Sunshine come out. And just like Flower Girl, I guess we can reveal our rating na. Solid A. Din.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
A, men.
A, women.
A, women!
Ay, nako. At ito na. Medyo
Okay.
nahahaba na yung episode natin. Okay, so when this episode comes out, the weekend will have passed, and I hope na a lot of you have seen all three. Okay? They're all great films. They're all good films naman. Happy tayo na wala tayong latak na napag-usapan ngayon sa episode na to. So, yeah. Woo! Natapos tayo sa 3 sine. Yay! Ang sarap para mag-podcast. Woo!
Come back.
Ay, nako.
Guess who's back?
Ay, nako. Pero ito, sige, mabilisan lang kasi ang dami din natin mga hindi na pag-usapan. Siguro to, ano na lang, one sentence na lang ulit din. Kung maisip ka, sige, ano ba yung isa na pala natin noon na hindi natin nagawa ng episode? Elio, how was it for you?
Anticlimactic.
Actually, parang yun na yun.
Oo, we've waited how many years?
We waited 2 years and then okay.
Okay, one word lang, sige.
Sa Elio?
Hindi, sa mga movies.
Sa movies? Sige.
Ang haba na nito, oh.
28 days later. Huh? Yun, sa akin. Ikaw?
Bitin.
Tama.
Kulang.
Ano pa? Ano ba na pala natin?
Megan 2.
Megan 2. Huh? Ikaw?
Lols.
Ang weird kasi parang biglang bakit doon nagpunta yung direksyon.
Oo.
Well,
biglang
anyway,
naging comedic.
Naging comedy.
Ano pa? Smurfs.
Huh?
Wala ka namang ambag. Puro ganyan. Kainis to.
Dami ko sinabi kanina. Hindi,
tapos yun lang masasabi mo,
Smurfs, hindi kasi si Elio, kasi 2 taon tayo nagantay, tapos yun, 28 days later, ilang taon tayo nagantay, and then, yun yung kwento.
Hindi mo ba nagustuhan yun?
It was fine. It wasn't great. It wasn't good. It was fine. Pero, yun nga where it left
may
us.
kwento pa kasi kung bakit baka hindi mo na-enjoy yun eh.
Hindi, huwag natin pag-usapan yun. Hindi, pero lang kasi parang, doon natapos, para siyang Born Legacy.
Para siyang prologue eh.
Yun. It is a prologue. It's not a film. It's a prologue. Yun siya.
Para siyang intro ng another movie.
Yung Megan naman, kasi para sa akin, horror and comedy works. Ang ginawa nito Megan 2, tinanggal niya yung horror. Naging comedy lang siya.
True.
Tapos,
or spy movie.
Naging spy movie. Tapos ano yung sa Smurfs? Kasi para akong, nakatira ba ng drugs yung gumagawa na ito habang ginagawa to?
The short answer is yes.
An acid trip of a movie. Talaga. Na parang siyang, what the fuck am I watching?
Ano bang iba nating napanood?
Ano pa? Parang yun lang ata, no? I think. Kasi yung iba naman, meron tayong review eh. We watched Jurassic World Rebirth, meron tayong review on our website. We watched F1, meron tayong review on our website.
How to Train Your Dragon.
How to Train Your Dragon. May utang ako sa inyong lahat. May utang ako sa iyo. Kailangan natin gawa ng review yan. Yun. How to Train Your Dragon, one of the best films of the year.
One of the best remakes, live-action remakes ever.
Ever! Talaga. So, I owe you everyone. I owe you an article. I owe you a review. Watch out for my review. I'll be writing and posting it on the website soon. Yeah. So, ayan na. Tapos na tayo. Yay! Nakahabol na tayo.
Haba nito
Gagawa tayo ng episode after 1 month ulit. Joke lang.
Grabe ka.
So, we want to thank the people who are still with us. Kahit ang tagal namin, ano ba kayo? Kahit ang tagal na namin nawala. Thank you for sticking with us. We are very sorry. Ang tagal namin nawala. Pero we hope to, maintain yung consistency na meron namin before.
Put out more episodes.
Life has just been lifing us. Right in the life.
Yeah. This last quarter.
Grabe.
Yan
ito yung nangyari araw-araw.
One word reaction mo.
One word reaction mo sa life. Pero we appreciate every single one of you, our listeners, our Cine Geeks, especially our fellow Cinehan buddies.
Yeah,
we love you all.
Yung mga Cine Geeks natin na nagpa-participate pa rin dun sa Cine Geeks Hub. It's now Cine Geeks Hub.
Yeah, we wanna also shout out sa iyo, JV Degia. At ikaw yung single-handedly nagbubuhay ng Cine Geeks PHHQ.
Yeah,
Thank you,
yung
dude.
mga ating mga supporters, likers, commenters dyan, just feel free to share what you thought of the movies that we post.
And ito, sige, kung sino man kayo, whatever, samahan nyo si JV, mag-post din kayo sa Cine Geeks PHHQ. Pag hindi naman siya lagi nagpo-post, mag-post din naman minsan.
Feel free to start conversations there.
Please. Whoever, basta movie conversation ha. Huwag kayong biglang politika or whatever BS yung ganyan. Yeah, movies lang. Okay? Yeah. Politics, sige, fine. If politics is in relation of a movie. Pero wag yung magsisimula tayo ng away dahil sa politika.
That's a slippery slope.
Wag, okay? Yan, keep it safe.
Yeah.
Keep it fun. Yan.
Oo.
So, yeah. Like, follow, subscribe, share, all that jazz.
Comment. Yeah.
Sing, dance, craft,
Awayin nyo kami kung gusto
live,
nyo.
laugh, love, whatever.
Sanay na kami dyan.
Oo. Yeah, sige lang. Kung gusto nyo kaming awayin dahil hindi kayo nag-agree sa comment namin or sa review namin, we welcome that. Go ahead.
Mga Snyder Bros.
Go. Come on, bro.
Yes, engage with our posts.
Let's go, bro.
Dare us with a fun time.
Yes, go, bro. Okay. So,
yeah.
So, I guess that's it for this episode of the Cine Geeks Podcast. For my co-host, Angela, this has been Roy. Thank you again for listening. And we hope you're still here sa next episode of the Cine Geeks Podcast, where movies, TV, and all things geek collide.